Intermittent fasting is a diet that focuses on when you eat instead of what to eat. With intermittent fasting, you only eat during a specific time. Fasting for a certain number of hours or a certain of days, depending on fasting schedule you choose to follow. Today, I will cover 8 most frequently asked questions about intermittent fasting. You will be confident to start your fasting plan after watching this video. So, what are the benefits of intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting has 10 proven health benefits. It significantly changes the function of cells, genes, and hormones. It naturally leads to weight loss. It helps reducing insulin resistance. It greatly reduces the chance of inflammation. It helps maintain a better heart health. It's a great way to prevent cancer and Alzheimer's. It also boosts cellular repair, support brain health and statistically extend your lifespan. Researchers found, when testing rodents and primates, that intermittent fasting extended lifespan, increased resistance to age-related diseases, and mitigated the risks related to coronary artery disease and stroke. How does intermittent fasting work? To understand the physiology of intermittent fasting, we'll need to differentiate between the body's fed state and fasted state. Your body enters the fed state when you start eating and then continues for 3 to 5 hours afterward as your body digests the food. However, once the body leaves the fed state, it enters what's known as the post-absorptive state. At this point, your body isn't digesting a meal anymore. The post-absorptive state lasts 8 to 12 hours after your last meal, and then your body enters the fasted state. Once your body enters the fasted state, the aforementioned physiological changes begin. However, since it takes us 12 hours after a meal to enter the fasted state, entering this fasted state is rare for our bodies. What's the best intermittent fasting schedule? You have a few options when it comes to the best fasting schedules. 1. 5 to 2 fasting schedule. It means 5 days normal, healthy eating, 2 days severely restricted. 2. 12-hour fasting schedule. This schedule is relatively easy on those new to intermittent fasting diets. You'll be able to eat for 12 hours and fast during the other 12 hours. 3. 16/8 fasting schedule. It means you fast for 16 hours and it's allowed to eat during 8 hours. 4. 20-hour fasting schedule. With this diet, you will only be able to eat for 4 hours of the day. 5. 24-hour fasting schedule. A 24-hour fast is only appropriate to do once a week and you are restricted to certain fluids during the 24-hour period. Should women fast differently than men? Women do not necessarily need to fast differently than men. However, there's still an important fact to discuss here. Most women find it easier to have a broader window to eat when doing intermittent daily fasting. While many men find the 16/8 periodic fasting schedule works for them, women often do better eating for 10 hours and then fasting for 14 hours. However, that schedule isn't a hard and fast rule, and the best thing you can do is an experiment to see how your body does when you attempt intermittent fasting. Do I have to skip breakfast? Let me answer this from my experience. I got used to intermittent fasting quickly because I was never a big fan of breakfast. Let me break this down a bit more. I'm not a big fan of eating early in the morning, but I am a fan of breakfast foods. The difference is that I eat at 1 p.m. each day instead of in the morning. So, you need to think about the concept differently. You don't need to skip your favorite meals or not eat the foods you like. You need to make sure you are eating them at the right time. Many people find with intermittent fasting that if they eat a large dinner the night before, they'll have plenty of energy in the morning. Many people worry about intermittent fasting because they've heard they need to eat breakfast, or they need to eat every 3 hours. However, those assumptions aren't all supported well by science, while intermittent fasting has been proven to work in many studies. Can I drink coffee while intermittent fasting? Yes, you can drink coffee while intermittent fasting, but only plain and black coffee. You should also pay attention to the quantity. It's suggested to take no more than 2 cups of coffee per day. And if you're sensitive to caffeine, it's better to avoid drinking coffee in the afternoon and evening. Is it okay to exercise while fasting? Sure, you can do everything you normally do during fasting. Actually, it's more like to lose weight if you exercise during a fast because your body will burn your stored fat. For people who does 12-hour fasting or 16 to 8 fasting, there usually isn't any problem to do regular exercise. However, if you are doing 24-hour fasting or 20-hour fasting, it's better to not overdo the exercise. Because your body will have to live through stored energy for a long period of time. So, I don't have to eat every 3 hours. I know it sounds odd, but it's true. You've probably heard people say you should eat 6 meals a day or every 3 hours. While that idea was famous for a little while, it's not so popular anymore. Let me explain why it was popular previously. Whenever you eat and your body is processing food, your body burns calories. So, people assumed that if you eat smaller meals more often, you will burn more calories as you go about your day. The idea was you'd eat more small meals to help you lose weight. However, there's a problem with this theory, and it's why you don't hear people pushing this idea around so much anymore. The meal your body is processing will be proportional to the number of calories you burn. So, digesting 6 small meals that add up to 2,000 calories will burn the same energy as processing 2 large meals of 1,000 calories each. So, the idea of eating 6 small meals a day is no longer something that most scientists research anymore. On the other hand, intermittent fasting has become so popular and successful that it is vastly researched by the scientific community. So, while many people still feel that eating 6 small meals a day is the way to go, this assumption is no longer backed up by scientific evidence. On the other hand, intermittent fasting's benefits are supported by many scientific studies. Those are some of the most frequently asked questions for intermittent fasting. Thumb up if you like this video and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you would like to get notified when a new video is on. See you in the next video.